Hey everybody, it is me Ben live here exclusively on Benzone. There's no official title for this episode. I thought I'd just come on and chat with you wonderful people out there in social media land. By the way, my name's Ben Cornett. You can catch me on Twitter or now it's X at BennyBoy702. And you could be watching this on YouTube as well, Ben Cornett 9015. What is going on, everybody? What a weekend it was in football. Not just NFL today. I mean, we had some great games. It's a lot of fun. We also had some pretty unique college football games this weekend. I know the big story is um, Colorado, the Buffaloes, 3-0 on the season. Had a great comeback against the Colorado State Rams. Uh, that game went to overtime. Uh, what a game, man. You gotta, whether you like Dion or not, you got to respect him for what he's done, turning that program around. He's made, Boulder, Colorado, the destination for college football. I mean, it's just fun. It's entertainment. You got to respect him for that. For turning that program around in such a fast time. Now, people will say, well, 3-0. Look who they beaten. Okay, but 3-0 is 3-0. Colorado won one game the entire year last year. So they've already, improved their win total by extra two games. So yeah, the competition's going to get tougher. They got to play Oregon at Oregon next week. It's a big game. It's a big test, especially without Travis Hunter, who unfortunately he got hurt in the game early on. He took a shot to the midsection um, out of bounds. You could say it was a pretty dirty play, and I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't be against that. So that does hurt Colorado both offensively and defensively because he's plays on both sides of the ball. So they are going to miss him for the next couple weeks, but still, they're 3-0. Colorado looking good so far. They still got a lot to work on, but as the season goes on, they'll definitely improve in some areas. But like I said, big game next week up in Eugene, Oregon. It's 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Um, so yeah, as far as college football goes, speaking of FSU, won, survived. They're 3-0, but they did drop in the rankings from number 3 to number 4. We won 31-29. Um, little disappointed. You hate, yeah, a win's a win, but I would have liked to have seen Florida State, look a little bit better in this game than they did. So, but we'll take it. We got a big showdown with Clemson next week as well, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, or 9 a.m. Pacific. We might have looked ahead a little bit to Clemson. I don't know, but I'm sure this week Coach Mike Norvell is going to really get on these guys about giving up some big plays to Boston College. Castellanos, the quarterback for Boston College, played a good game. He was actually recruited by Florida State, but he chose to go to Boston College. But overall, we got to play better on both sides of the ball. We did enough to win the game, but there definitely needs to be improvement on the defensive end, especially in the backfield. We gave up some easy plays, some key third downs too. Couldn't get them off the field. So that's got to improve. Clemson's a better team than Boston College, so we got to tighten up a bit. I still think we'll win that game, but if we play like we did this week against Boston College, maybe we won't. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah. So we got a comment here. And Facebook user says hi. That would be Odette. Hi, how you doing tonight, Odette? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. So today in the NFL, as you know. The Buccaneers ended up winning 27-17. Good game. I said it before. The key to the game was for the Bucks if they can control the time of possession, run the ball well, which they did a lot better of. Rashad White had a touchdown in the game. I think he ran for like 70 something yards. Mike Evans, another touchdown, 176 yards on 6 catches. Great stuff from him. We controlled the offensive line. We controlled the line of scrimmage. Baker Mayfield made some great plays, some good timely throws, got rid of the ball, kept plays alive. It was just a lot of fun to see. So, our defense got 2 more turnovers. Shaq Barrett got the game-winning turnover, pick 6. And Isian got another interception. So that's 2 interceptions for Christian Isian on the year. Man, he has really stepped up so far. You can see why the Bucks made him one of the starting safeties. Great hands, good football instincts, aggressive, quick to the football. So those were, again, +5 for the Bucks this year on the turnover battle. So 2 games, the defenses had 5 turnovers, which is impressive. That's what wins games, is winning the turnover battle. We made Justin Fields very uncomfortable. Couldn't get a rhythm going. In the first quarter, they had that one drive, but we were down 7-6, but they were able to tighten everything up. And defensively, they weren't going to let that happen again. So they only allowed 10 points the rest of the game. And the Bucks, early on, it was a little shaky offensively because I felt like we had 2 drives we could have got a touchdown on. We only ended up with a field goal. Then we got a field goal blocked by the Bears special teams. But after that, everything started to get better and better. We progressed both offensively and defensively. And we took control of the game. The time of possession was huge. I think it was by over 15 minutes time possession total. Again, I don't have the numbers on me, but from what I read this morning, I think it was pretty much we had the time of possession by over 15 minutes. Today, again, the defense stepped up. The 2 turnovers. We ran the ball better, which I kind of had a feeling we would. Special teams was good once again. Camarda, he had a 70-yard punt, even though it was a 50-yard punt net. But the boys got a foot. So, and I always say if I needed someone in a butt-kicking contest, I would take Jake Camarda's foot. That's how great his foot is. So you got to worship that foot, people. I mean, Camarda's got the best leg in the business. Let's see here. Fred Swayze Moore, thank you for tuning in. 2-0, yes. Cheers, 2-0. Drink to that. Christopher Cole, thanks for tuning in. He's watching on YouTube. Nice game. Yes, a very nice game. Chris, we did it. Chris, Fred, 2-0. Great start of the season. There's some people out there who, odds makers, some experts, who thought the Bears would win that game today. I kind of had a hard time figuring out why, because I look at this Bears team offensively. I'm not impressed. I mean, yeah, they got some running backs, Khalil Herbert. But, they don't have much of a receiving corps besides DJ Moore. And they got Komet, the tight end. But Justin Fields, to me, if anything, I think he's regressed. I know it's been 2 games. It's only 2 games in the season, but And I give Bucks a lot of credit for pressuring him, getting to him, making him uncomfortable in the pocket, you know, taking away his rhythm. But even on plays where he was open and he had time to throw the ball, he missed a couple targets here and there, and to me, he doesn't do a good job of reading defenses. When you're in your third year in the league, you gotta, you gotta start to read defenses better. And I still don't think Justin Fields done that. Um, I don't see the progression, and quite frankly, I don't know how long he's going to last. I mean, he's just, think about this. They're 0-2 now. You got to go to Kansas City next week, play the Chiefs in KC, who bounced back nicely against Jacksonville today. Kelsey came back. Chris Jones is back. You got to go up against that team. Good luck. I mean, you think our defense is pretty good? Look what they did to Jacksonville, Kansas City today. Held them to, what was it, like 9 points? I mean, Jacksonville has a pretty good offense. So you got to go up against KC. I mean, it's going to be a tough sledding for the Bears, especially this next week, as well as I think you got Denver next. Well, maybe they could beat Denver. The way Denver's playing, that's tough. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's see. Jim Melvin, thanks. Hey Ben, thanks for tuning in, Jim. How you doing tonight, man? It's good to hear you. Good to see you. Christopher Cole says, we started 2-0 3 years in a row? Oh, that's a good question. I know last year we did. We beat the Cowboys and the Saints. I'm trying to think, 2021. I think we did. I'll have to look that up, Christopher. You might be right on that. So I know in our Super Bowl year 2020, we started 1-1. We lost that first game to the Saints. But yeah, no. I think you're right on that, Chris. I'd have to look. But regardless, we're 2-0. 2-0 is 2-0. This is a team that's just. I love this team. I love watching this Bucks team. Oh, I know some people say, "Oh man, we miss Brady." Like, no. Look, you want to know why I like this team this year? It's because nobody's expecting us to do anything. I think that's what makes it sweeter. What makes this so much fun to watch, because you kind of have that unknown. How are we going to do without Tom Brady? How are we going to do without Rob Gronkowski? How are we going to do without this player and that player who was there last year? And I'm curious. Now we don't have the pressure. We're not picked to win a Super Bowl or go to a Super Bowl or whatnot. How are we going to do this year? And that's always kind of fun. I like that spontaneous position that we're in. You just never know. So I'm excited about what this team has done. Defensively, I said this a few weeks ago, our defense is going to keep us in games this year. And we got 5 turnovers already in 2 games. I mean, that's how you win football games, people. Win the turnover battle, run the ball well, and which we're doing. The time of possession, moving the chains, keeping the other team's offense on the sideline, and giving our defense a rest, not having them out there, more than the offense. I mean, that's the formula to be, for winning football. And it's just great to see. I love seeing a team like this without those expectations, those huge expectations, to do well so far. Now, we're 2 games in, 2-0. We got the big game coming up a week from tomorrow against Philadelphia Eagles, Monday Night Football. This team's going to be seen on prime time for the first time this year. So there is some pressure, but again, 2-0 going into this game 2-0 next week. That's huge. The Eagles, they're 2-0. But does Philly look like the team from last year? You can argue no. I could argue that. They're not. Jalen Hurts isn't, as accurate as he was, the year before, throwing the football. He's still making some plays, but he's not as, I don't think he's as accurate. He's not, he's holding the ball too long at times. And that offensive line for Philly is not as good as last year. Yeah, they got Jason Kelsey. I get it. But still, I think we definitely have a shot at this game. Now, do I think we can win the game? Absolutely. Do I think we will? I don't know. I won't let you know until my Ben's Quick Picks, which, by the way, is comes on either Wednesday night or Thursday morning. I'll let you know. It'll be on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, there's always a chance we can. It'd be great if we can beat the defending the NFC champions at home Monday night, 3-0. Then go in the week 4 to play a division game, or first division game against the New Orleans Saints. They play tomorrow night, by the way, at Carolina. So, a lot to be excited about. Just such a good time right now to be a Bucs fan. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Let's see. Jim Melvin says, I was one of those who thought Justin Fields would have a big year. Wrong, but I'm most often wrong. Well, Jim, I know there are a lot of fans that thought Justin Fields would have a big year. I wasn't really one of them. He's one of those guys where I think you have to put a lot around him for him to be successful. And that's the case for many quarterbacks. But, some quarterbacks can overcome things. Some quarterbacks are just great. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers until he got hurt. So, a lot of, Joe Burrow, I know they're 0-2, but, still, I think Joe Burrow's a very good quarterback. Josh Allen's okay sometimes. Justin Fields really in that bottom half of the league. He's not a top 10 quarterback. And I just don't know if he's going to improve. Maybe he will a little bit, but for him to be that guy that's going to take the Bears to the next level, I don't see it. And he's going to have to show me a lot more than what he's shown me these last 2 games and the last few years. So we'll see what happens there. Sunday night football games going on right now. We got Miami up 17-3. I did pick the Patriots to win tonight. I thought that was my upset pick, and they defensively they're okay, but they're not. They just have no offense. Mac Jones isn't the answer. I don't know. I don't know why I picked the Patriots, but whatever. I'm still 10-3 so far this week, so that's pretty damn good. Christopher Cole on pace for 70 sacks or more. Are you referring to the Bucs defense, or are you talking about Justin Fields taking sacks? I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could specify, I would appreciate that. So quite a day in the NFL, man. The Giants, they're down 28-7 in the third quarter. And they come back to win 31-28. What a game. Man, it's like the Cardinals are like, wait a minute. We're not going to get the number 1 pick if we just keep this lead up. The number 1 picks goes to the teams with the worst records in the league. We're winning. Why are we up by 21 points? Okay, defense, go let the Giants come back. So that's what it looked like to me. Now, I'm not saying there's a fix or anything like that, but you could talk about an all-time collapse by the Cardinals. I mean, you're up by 21, and at home, third quarter, and you do that. I don't know. Something's not right there, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just being that football conspiratist, but whatever. And thank you, Christopher. Thank you for clarifying Bucks defense. Yeah, that'd be great. 70 sacks. I'd love to see that. I would. Um, you know, JTS was very good today. Joe Tyron Shanka, he had a sack. Shaq Barrett got a sack. Defense was eaten. We're giving up 17 points a game. In today's NFL, that's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good to give up 17 points a game. Now, I know it's only 2 games, but still, 17 points a game. Today's NFL, your defense is only allowing that. That's pretty damn good. That's top five defense in the NFL. Jim Melvin says the most impressive part of the Bucks win today was that they were always seemed in control. They were a play or two away from it being a rout. Yeah, and it's a good point. It just felt like we had control of the game. Now, we kind of let the Bears back in a little bit, but I didn't have any doubts. I felt like, the one thing that we did do very well again is on third down, we were able to, especially third and long, we were able to get the first down, especially on that third down, that touchdown pass to Mike Evans. That was great. Now that was a busted play by the corner. I think he was trying to peek, and he let Evans go, and it's a huge mistake. You don't let Mike Evans. Mike Evans can get a touchdown with the guy on him, but if you leave him alone, you're screwed. So, yeah, we did a good job on third and long, getting those first downs. So that told me right there, yeah, we'll be fine. I mean, again, the offense for Chicago, it's not impressive. Their offensive line's not really that impressive either. I mean, look how many false starts they had today. Pre-snap penalties did them in. Now, I will say the Bucks did have some, penalties of their own that a little more than they did last week, but again, nothing like the Bears. Those pre-snap penalties killed them. Large part because, hey, look how good our Bucks defense is. We were doing a good job of putting pressure all day on that line, getting to Justin Fields, and also faking a blitz, then stepping out of it. Giving them different looks and disguises. So, and the Bears have a young offensive line, just like we do, to an extent. So, of course, you're going to get some of those pre-snap penalties, and especially when you're facing a very good defense, So, yeah, we had control of the game. We never looked back. Once we got that lead, I mean, we just dominated. And I think it looked like Mac Jones threw an interception there. So that sucks. There goes my upset pick. Not really upset about it, but, Yeah, so I don't know. Let's put this up here. What do you think, guys? I know we're talking about the Bucks and everything like that, and it's my show, so we can talk about them if we want. But thoughts on the NFL and college games this past weekend? It's pretty good games today. Seattle and Detroit was really good. Seattle ended up beating Detroit in overtime, 37-31. Shout out to my friend Alex Loosemore, Lions fan. Tough game, but I think you mentioned they had like 3 turnovers, and Golf, I think, had his first interception in like over a year. So that streak came to an end. But a good win for Seattle. I mean, especially coming off that loss to the Rams in week 1. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Seattle. They seem to have Detroit's number. That's 2 years in a row now they've beaten them in Detroit. So, and I think they played them in Seattle as well the year before that, and Seattle beat them. So, it just seems like Seattle has their number. I don't know. Some teams just do. Like the 49ers, they have the Rams number in the regular season. Once again, the Niners, they look like the best team in football. I'm going to be honest with you. That defense, uh, offensively, Brock Purdy, he's not a great quarterback, but he's doing what Baker Mayfield's doing. He's managing the game. He's not turning the ball over. Although I will say Baker Mayfield hasn't turned the ball over yet this year. Um, Hopefully he doesn't this year, but Brock Purdy has. But they're both similar. You just give them a great offensive line, you give them weapons, and a good run game. That's what's going to happen. But Niners do have a very good run game with Christian McCaffrey had a touchdown. Uh, the Niners are just so good. They play the Giants next week or this Thursday. Uh, Giants fans out there, I feel bad for you. I mean, you got to go from coming back against Arizona, pretty shitty team, to playing the best team in the football, and the 49ers, arguably the best team in football. So, yeah, it's going to be a short week for the Giants. Yeah. Let's see. Ryan Flowers, 100%. Ryan, thank you for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. Good win today for the Cowboys. I bet you're a little upset with the field goals because I think you said you bet on your clutch picks. You had under 38.5. They got 40 points. They had to kick the field goals today. No, just kidding. But your new kicker looked really good, though. Is it Brandon? I forget his name. Help me out there on that, Brian or Ryan. But Cowboys look great. That defense so far, I mean, say what you want. I know it's the Jets and the Giants, but dude, Micah Parsons just eating folks alive. When you have a great defense, you're going to usually, win most of your games. And Dallas is 2-0. Again, they're looking the part. So yeah, that was a good win for you guys. And by the way, let me just say this: if Jets fans or any fans of Zach Wilson, if you're relying on that guy to, be the savior for that team, don't. He's awful. And you can see why they benched him last year. And yes, Dallas's defense is very good, and that played a big part. But now you got to play New England next week, who looks like they're going to lose. But the Patriots have had the Jets number for the last 15, 16 games. They've won like 16 in a row on them. So I don't know. It's going to be a long year for the Jets. And I can't wait to hear what, because I'll listen to Jets podcasts, Giants podcasts, W Fan in New York. I listen to them. I like to hear their input tomorrow. Can't wait to hear that, see what they think. But thanks again, Ryan, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Comment. Jim Melvin, I think you see this happening throughout the league. The first team offenses really don't get the for real reps in the preseason. The offenses don't really gel until about game 4. Yeah, it's a good point. Very good point. Kind of like Baltimore. Like they won the day, but I could tell that offense for the Ravens still taking some time. Lamar Jackson's getting used to a new offensive coordinator. Doesn't have J.K. Dobbins anymore. He's out for the year with an injury. But they're adjusting. And then Odell Beckham got hurt again. What do you know? Odell gets hurt. So, no, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just saying that's just seems like the theme, with OBJ. It's like he always gets injured. He's becoming injury prone. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We don't know the diagnosis yet on OBJ, but hopefully it's not serious. We don't want to ever wish anybody getting hurt. So, and then Saquon Barkley got hurt late in the game. If you saw the play, he made a run and then got tackled, but somebody landed on the back of his leg, and he was down in pain. You could see him. He had to be helped off the field. So you could tell he took his helmet off, just threw it on the ground. So in his mind, it felt like this is pretty serious. Now, we don't know the diagnosis yet, so hopefully for him, that's not serious. He can get back. But it was pretty smart on the Giants, though, not to give him that extension, that big contract. Just give him the 1 year deal, the tag instead, because Saquon, he's injury prone, you know. So yeah, today's injuries, potential injury. We don't know yet, but if he's out for a little bit, we can see why he didn't get that long-term deal. You got to see more out of him. And last week he didn't play well. This week he played a little better, especially the second half. But there's got to be more consistency out of him. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes with the Giants, but I just don't think they have a chance against the 49ers Thursday night. I could see the Niners winning that game by double digits. Especially a short week for the Giants. They're going to stay on the West Coast because, it doesn't make sense to go back to New York and then fly all the way out to Santa Clara. So I'm sure they'll be in California somewhere, staying there, practicing all week, especially a short week. But still, I don't think it'll make a difference. I think the Niners are going to win that game. It didn't make a difference for the Las Vegas Raiders. They went to West Virginia, practiced for a couple days, stayed on the East Coast. But, the Raiders are the Raiders. Garoppolo's Garoppolo. He showed his true colors today, but had a turnover. The Bills, I knew they'd come back. They bounced back big. Josh Allen played pretty good. It's going to be tough for the Raiders. They have their home opener next Sunday night out here against the Steelers. Be an interesting game. We'll see how the Steelers do tomorrow night against the Browns. Big division game. We'll see what happens there. Jim Melvin says, I'm a lifelong FSU fan. Saturday's game was very disappointing. The Seminoles should have won that by 28. They're like, 26.5-point favorites coming in. Now, I stayed away from that game. 26 I thought it was a fair amount, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't cover that. But I didn't think they'd only win by 2 either. So they let Boston College back in and give BC's quarterback credit, Castellanos, who played a good game. He gave the defense different looks, ran the ball well, on some of that RPO. But I will say the secondary for Florida State did not help out the front seven. They gave up way too many plays, gave up a couple of third and longs that they should have stopped and didn't. So they do got to be much better next week because they got to face Will Shipley. Will Shipley is one of the better wide receivers in college football, so they got to keep an eye on him. But yeah, it's a bit disappointing, Florida State. Win's a win, but at the same time, when you're a team that's a playoff type team, you can't just win by 2 over Boston College, even if it's on the road. They should have won by at least 2 scores. That's why we dropped from 3 to 4, and that's fair. I can live with that. Because in college football, it is about style points. You got to be able to show the country that if you're going to be a playoff caliber team, you got to win games. Like, you got to beat teams like Boston College by more than just 2 points. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I feel you, Jim. It was disappointing, but it's a win. So at least it wasn't a loss. Oh, man. Good stuff. So, Mac Jones running for his life, and there's a flag, and yeah, man, what a week. What a week. Again, we're here live, Benzone Exclusive. This was, not a planned show, but I wanted to go on live. I'm bored. I'm a little bored, so I wanted to talk tonight. Just want to get everybody's thoughts on today's games, Bucks fan or not. Even if you're a fan of other teams, So give me your thoughts. What do you guys think of your teams? What do you think of the NFL in general today? It was fun. Um, Tonight I'll go over and watch some highlights from the other games. Um, Green Bay Atlanta was pretty good. Uh, Falcons came all the way back. They won. Uh, I did pick the Falcons to win. I thought that was a good win. Jordan Love, not bad. Again, I'm kind of a wait and see on him. He didn't do too bad. I think he had one interception, but he still had 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good. Uh, and they stayed in the game. Without Aaron Jones, it's their best running back. They were still able to move the ball pretty well offensively. So, Green Bay's 1-1. I think they play New Orleans next week for their home opener. So, yeah, we'll see how Green Bay does. Again, kind of on the wait and see thing with Mr. Jordan Love, but he's not been bad so far. He's actually played pretty decent. So, in Washington, Denver this afternoon, Denver was up 21-3. Washington came all the way back, and Patriots got a touchdown. How about that? New England scored a touchdown. That's interesting. Hunter Henry had the tight end got the touchdown. We'll get back to the Denver thing in a minute, but let's see. This little RPO thing, and Jones throws it right to Henry. A nice throw. All right, well, Patriots, you got to get the extra point here. They're only down by 7. They're back in the game. So, hey, who knows? Yeah, Denver. God. Sean Payton's got to be like, he's got to be calling Drew. He's like, Drew, hey, Drew, come on, man, help me out here. And Drew's probably like, screw you, man. I'm only 2 years away from being eligible for the Hall of Fame. I'm coming out of retirement. Well, I mean, you're stuck with Russell Wilson. You're stuck with him. He's got that enormous contract. He's not the same guy. It's just, I don't know. It's almost like, I don't know if Russell Wilson's hesitant, if he's playing too cautious or what, but he's not the same guy. And, Seattle, I'll tell you right now, they don't regret letting him go, trading him. Look where Seattle is right now. They made the playoffs last year. They're 1-1 this year. I don't think they're regretting a thing. And they're going to have draft picks for years to come. Denver, you got a 34-year-old quarterback who looks like he's 44 out there, and you give all your draft picks up just to get him. And that's what you got to put your future in right now. And yeah, it's not looking good so far. So, and they got to go to Miami next week. Yeah, good luck with that. Can you say 0-3? Jim Melvin, it would be ironic if the NFC South turned out to be one of the better divisions this year. Hey, Jim, I got to tell you, man. Bucks are 2-0. Falcons are 2-0. Saints, if they beat the Panthers tomorrow night, which I think they will, they're 2-0. Panthers be 0-2. But 3 teams that would be 2-0 in the NFC South. That's, hey, why not? That could be the best division in football. Well, maybe not in the entire NFL, but maybe in the NFC. You look right now, Philly's 2-0, Dallas is 2-0. So, yeah, that's a good division. Washington's 2-0. It's a good division. So, NFC West, 49ers, 2-0. Seattle's 1-1. Rams 1-1. Arizona's 0-2. The NFC North, interesting. So, yeah, it could be one of the better divisions. I do agree. Now, in week 4, the Bucks play their first division game against the Saints. Saints play their first division game tomorrow. In that game, I mean, I'm looking at the Saints team right now. I'm not totally impressed. The offense didn't do much. Titans were able to hold them to like 16 points, I believe. Carolina's got a solid defense, but offensively, with Bryce Young, the rookie, I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Saints will edge them. I'd say like maybe 20-17. Again, Derek Carr has good games, but he also has bad games. He's been a little inconsistent throughout his career, so who knows which Carr you're going to get tomorrow night. Now, for personal preferences, I would like to see the Saints lose, but I picked them to win. I just don't think Carolina's there yet. It's going to take a little bit, but we'll see what happens. You never know. It's a division game. It'll be close, and let's see what happens. Oh, man. Well, guys, everybody, I think I'm going to go ahead and take off here. I'm going to finish watching this game, but I just want to get on here tonight. Just talk to you fine people out there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. This was a Benzone exclusive. It wasn't a planned show, but I thought, what the heck? Let me come on. Let me, babble on about today's NFL and college football. Drink a beer and just have a good time on this show because that's what I like to do. Jim Melvin says, thanks. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, because it's you, Christopher Cole, all the other people that watch this show that make this happen. It's not me, man, who am I, right? But I appreciate you guys showing me the love and support. Like I said, those are my social media handles up above my head there. Now, it's not Twitter anymore. It's X, BennyBoy702. You can watch this on my YouTube channel like you are right now, BenCornet9015, Facebook in the Ben Zone. And I'm going to put up some other shows on there as well. Check them out. Ryan Flowers, you were on here earlier, which is Clutch Sports Show every Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. He's got a great show. We do the NFL edition every Thursday nights. I wasn't on there this week. Got late. Alex Loosemore, good friend of mine, does Restoring the Roar. I think that's every Wednesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, I think, something like that. Put the Sports Web on, Peter Blake. He always does a great job with his show, him and Harry. Leo Haggerty, those guys do great. Two Giant Goofballs, it's a Giants podcast. Andrew Davis, him and his friend Rob, good stuff there. And I put a bunch of other shows on there. Nathan Snell has some good shows on there as well. Sean Spencer, Will Kramer, they got the Washington Commanders show that they do, I believe, every Wednesdays. A bunch of other shows that I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but I always put them on the Ben Zone because I always like to hear perspectives from every team, every sport, stuff like that. So you can watch all that on the Ben Zone on Facebook. I'll get to a couple more comments. Christopher Cole says, he's got here, how bad is the Giants to have a team give them the game? Yeah. I don't know, Christopher Cole, but they did not look good. They're going to get demolished, I think, by the Niners this week. So I'm not really worried about it. The Niners will win that game, probably by 2 scores. Arizona, they stink. They want that number 1 pick. Let's face it. I mean, you don't just give up a 21-point lead like that. And again, I'm not being this NFL conspiratist, but looking at that game, watching some of it, kind of makes you go, Just saying. So, all right. Jim Melvin says, nice job, Ben. Hope the Pats win. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Kind sir. Yeah, for my sake, let's hope the Pats win because I did pick them to win tonight. So, um, but they have to punt the ball and Miami gets it back. So, I don't know. And they're already in Patriot territory, so it's not looking too good. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right. Well, everybody, cheers to a great football weekend. Buccaneers fans, cheers to another win, 2-0, heading into next Monday night against Philly. I'll drink to that. Everybody, have a good rest of the weekend for the next few hours and have a good week. And we will see you next time right here on the Benzone. And please like, share, and follow on my social media handles above my head. With that being said, have a good night and take care.